Hi everyone, welcome back to Almost Normal. Yesterday I was having an absolute shit fit and I can't quite put my finger on what was going wrong, okay? I was driving to Pilates, a Pilates class with my mum in the car who is in town at the moment, which is very, very lovely and I want to take in every second I have with her. But yesterday we were driving and I don't know why, but I felt so frustrated, so agitated, so angry, so on edge. And she kept talking, as mothers do. She kept having a conversation with me, even though there was not a lot of replies coming back. And you could literally see the whites in my knuckles from me just holding onto the steering wheel so hard, just being like, do not freak out, do not freak out, do not freak out, And there was absolutely nothing she was doing wrong, okay? It was just my general mood of the day. I was like, you know what? If I freak out at her, I'm gonna feel so fucking bad because she has done literally nothing wrong. I'm just having a moment. Don't know why. Can't put my finger on what it is, but here we are. So just do your best to get to this Pilates class, okay? Maybe we can scream a little bit when our muscles are actually tearing. And then maybe after the class we'll feel better and then we can sort of talk, But I don't know what was going on with me. I was so agitated, so agitated. I was very much in my head, when you're just like, nothing is going right, okay? I didn't do all the things I wanted to do today. I am a failure. I think I tried to film a podcast episode yesterday and it did not work, obviously, because I was already in a bit of a weird mood. And so like trying to sit and do a podcast and talk like about life when you're already in a mood like that doesn't work. And so that just set it off even more. And I have a feeling it might be a byproduct of the fact that I am not in school anymore and I have less to think about. And I wake up every single day panicked that I have to get an essay done or some reading done. And then it takes me a while to come down and realize like we are on summer vacation. Like we don't need to do anything. And my brain has not quite figured that out yet. So I'm kind of in a constant state of stress, which is interesting. You'd think that the minute I can relax, the minute I don't have to think about school anymore would be the time where I can just chill. But no, it's stressed me out even more and I can't quite explain why. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, fuck, I didn't email this person. Oh my God, did I miss this meeting? Oh my God, what day is it? Like every day. And I'm just like, Rita, relax. Like literally relax. Like that is what the summer break is for, to actually relax. So just chill out. I'm hoping that my brain will catch up with what's actually physically happening in the world soon because I can't live like this anymore. But anyway, I woke up in the morning already like, oh fuck, like I thought I missed like a meeting with my professor, which didn't exist or whatever. Didn't know what day it was, didn't know what time it was. I was like, holy shit, like what's going on? I got up feeling a little bit like blah, blah, blah. I had plans to do a Pilates class in the morning and I ended up not going. And then I was like, I'm not going to go because I want to film this podcast episode. And so I put all my makeup on and got ready and sat in this chair. And then I was already feeling a little bit crazy. And so I sat down, tried to speak, didn't work, sat here for like an hour and a half, nothing worked. And then my mom was like, hey, do you want to go to this Pilates class at 4? And I was like, fuck, like, okay, sure, fine. And then I was like all mad at myself because like, even though I was going to Pilates, I like went later and I should have gone earlier. But the reason I cancelled the earlier class was because I wanted to do the podcast. And then I was like, oh, but you didn't even do the podcast. That was such a waste of fucking time. Like I was all over the fucking place. And then I was driving to Pilates and then my mom was talking and I was like absolutely about to explode and I really didn't want to do that. I will say that after the Pilates class I felt so much better. I think it's the absolute physical pain that class puts me in. It slightly distracts me from what's going on in my head, and because the music is so loud, I literally scream. Like I actually scream in that class and it honestly feels amazing. Feels incredible. I think isn't there like a scream therapy? What is that? I remember my sister telling me about it. And I was like, oh, what does that involve exactly? And she's like, oh, you just stand in a room and you just like scream. If anyone knows what that is, let me know. Because I feel like that's my version of it. Even though I'm in an exercise class, like just vocalizing like loud noises, like animalistic noises is like so helpful for your brain. Anyway, whatever. When I got home, I was like, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. Like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And suddenly I had this moment of clarity. Suddenly I had this moment of like, that's it. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. To make myself feel better, that's what I'm going to do. And it probably had no relation to the way I was feeling. It was a very, very random thought. And it's something that I have been putting off for years and years. Like literally years and years and years have gone by and I have not done this simple task. And suddenly yesterday, I was like, I think if I do this task, that just popped into my head out of the blue. I think if I do this task, I'm going to start feeling a lot better. Don't know why, but I think I will. Anyway, got home. I went upstairs and because I was kind of in slightly a manic, mentality too. So I was a little bit like, fuck, let's do this. A combination of like feeling mentally a bit unstable and then also doing the Pilates class. I was like, and having an energy drink, I was like, okay, fuck, like we're gonna do this now. So anyway, went upstairs, went to my closet, got two giant bin bags, two hefty giant black bin bags. And I started to take all of my clothes off of the shelves and all of them out of the drawers and all of the clothes out from the hangers. And I placed them all on the floor, okay? And I sat on the floor, sweaty and disgusting and probably looking crazy. And one by one, I was like, I'm fucking throwing away or donating, but like getting rid of it. I'm gonna get rid of all the clothes that I don't wear anymore. Like, today is the day. I'm going to do it, okay? I'm going to do this. It's going to make me feel brand new, okay? I feel like mentally my brain is looking like my closet, okay? Filled with shit that I don't really need, stuff I'm holding on to for no good reason other than I just have a problem with letting things go. And I was like, if I clear my closet, I think that'll clear my brain. I just have a feeling. I have a really great feeling about this. So anyway, I sat on the floor for a couple hours and I literally just put everything on the floor, There was no sort of organizational, there was no organization done with this. It was purely just manic. And one by one, I picked each thing up and I was like, have I worn this within the last year? Or have I even worn it once since I bought it? And if the answer was no, I would just put it straight in the bin bag. And before I go on, I have to say, I have a light hoarding problem. I would say light. I would say it's not severe because I have seen hoarders and I understand what a severe hoarder looks like. But I will say that I had underwear in my drawers from when I was about 10 years old. Not joking. I had t-shirts in there that I have never worn. I had so much shit in there, I didn't even know where it came from. Like, I literally think it was like other people's clothes I've just been keeping and like didn't want to get rid of. Like, I had so much shit in there. I just was like, what is this? What is this? But I have a light hoarding problem, specifically when it comes to clothes, okay? I feel like I'm a very sentimental person, okay? Think I get that from my dad. And each piece of clothing I connect with it on a spiritual level. I put memories into each piece of clothing, even if I bought it and I literally never wore it. Like, something about me holds a connection to each piece of clothing, and I can't quite explain what that is. I think that for a really long time, I put a lot of my self-worth into the way I dressed, the way I looked. And look, I still do. I'm not a perfect human being. I have days where I feel like I'm a useless piece of shit. But if my outfit looks good, like maybe I'll feel like I'm worth something. Like, I am not cured by any means. So let me just say that really quickly. But there have been years and years and years and years and years of my life where I felt that much more strongly. That is not British. I mean, English. What the hell am I talking about? That is not English. A lot more strongly. A lot stronger. A lot stronger. That was a much stronger feeling inside of me, that a lot of my self-worth came from what clothes I wore and my style, and I wanted people to know me by my style. I wanted people to be like, wow, she is the coolest vintage finder ever. Like, she always has these cute slip vintage dresses, or like, oh, she's so rock and roll, you know, she's so like cool, like she wears all these band t-shirts and like low-rise jeans, and like she is, if you want like a punk girl, like she is your girl, you know. Or I wanted to be the sexy girl, you know, and I wanted to be known for that, and I wanted to be known for that through my outfits. And so I have in my closet years of me doing that, you know. When I moved to America, I also discovered that America has insane donation stores. Goodwill is my sanctuary. And so that just let me explore even more, you know, that let me go in and see deals, and it let me, you know, slightly get out of my comfort zone clothes wise, and it let me experiment a lot more than I could if I was just like buying like brand new clothes all the time. Anyway, some of these things were just so far out of my comfort zone that I just never wore them. I just never wore them, still in the closet with the tags on. And over time, and as I've gotten older, of course, style is something that I feel very strongly about. And obviously when I'm wearing a cute outfit, I'm like, okay, great day. Like, yes, love it. But like, I think I've come to understand that you don't need a set style, you know? Some days you can feel kind of boyish, you know? Some days you can feel kind of tomboyish. Some days you can feel way more feminine. Some days you can feel a bit sporty, or you can feel a little bit more like a vintage LA girl with a lace slip dress. You don't have to fully decide like who you are as a person when it comes to style. And to be honest, it'll never ever stay the same. Like, there are people that have styles that they remain with for years and years and years, but that doesn't mean you have to do that too. And I just have found that I am someone who switches it up like every day, you know? When people say, what is your favorite type of music? I don't usually have an answer, because I kind of like every type of music. It really just depends on what mood I'm in. And there are some people that are like diehard fans, one genre, won't listen to anything else, happy, sad, mad, glad, like they will only listen to one type of music. That's just not me. That's just not my experience of life, okay? That is also my experience when it comes to clothes, you know? Every day I wake up and feel like someone else. Not personality-wise, but just the way I want to present myself that day, and I think that's totally fine. And so over time, I have found less of I've found that I find that I feel less of a pressure to define my style. And that looks like me not panic buying at Goodwill every single weekend because I'm desperately trying to figure out who the fuck I am clothes wise, okay? I do less of that because I'm like, I don't need a whole new wardrobe, you know, to figure it out. I just need a few little bits here, a few little bits there. Like, I don't need to fill my closet with like only punky clothes. I don't need to fill my closet with only like 70s hippie clothes. Like, I can just be me, and every day can be a little bit different, and that's totally fine. So I do not need to go panic buying at thrift stores anymore to try and like buy a whole new wardrobe in one day for the new personality that I think I'm going to be. Like, I can just sort of like switch it up every day, and I'm much happier with that. However, years and years and years, I did do that panic buying thing, and I filled my closet with different types of people's styles and did not get rid of anything on the way, you know? So my closet has about 100 people's closets in just the one, you know? And I can't live like that anymore. I just cannot live like that anymore. But I also can't let go. I cannot let go of all those people that I thought I was going to be, you know? All the people that I was. Like, for a while, I was this person. I don't want to let her go. For a while, I was this person. I don't want to let her go. I had a really good day at the theme park in this t-shirt. I don't want to let that go, even though it's fucking ugly and I don't want to wear it anymore, and I never will wear it. And it's like thick and heavy and big and takes up like half of a drawer. Like, I don't want to let it go. I don't want to get rid of it. Even if I thrifted the clothes and they actually belonged to someone else before me, I still feel like they're mine, you know? They're like my possessions, my belongings. Anyway, I just have like a very, very strong connection to clothes because I hold sentimental value in everything. Also, I just feel like I'll regret it. And I feel like, what if one day I need this specific Rolling Stones t-shirt with a big rip in the back. Like, what if I specifically need that one day, you know? What if I specifically need that latex dress that I got and never wore? Like, what if I specifically have an event to go to that I have to wear latex and I can never, ever, 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 ever find another latex dress ever again, and I got rid of that one? Like, I'm going to feel like an idiot. So I don't really want to, like, let that one go either. You know what I mean? Like, I have a bunch of reasons that cause me to hoard. I have a bunch of reasons, you know? And if you sort of debunk one reason of mine, like, I'll come up with another one. I'll come up with another one. You know, I can say, oh, I'm sentimentally attached to everything. Yes. But also, I'm just like, what if I need it one day? You know, it's also like that sort of shallow feeling towards clothes. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't want to get rid of them. I just really have a problem with getting rid of clothes. I don't know. I also think that one other thing is if I haven't worn it yet or I haven't worn it as much, I like feel bad for it. Oh, I don't know. I'm fucking crazy. But like, I'm like, I feel bad. I'm like, shit, I bought you and I never wore you. Like, that's just wrong. And now I'm giving you away, you know? I'm like having this conversation with a fucking like jumpsuit I got from Goodwill. Like, no. It's fine. Because what's going on now is I'm feeling bad for it, so I'm not giving it away. I feel like I sound wild. I feel bad for it, so I'm not giving it away, but I'm also not wearing it. So I'm literally just holding these clothes captive in my wardrobe, and they're not, you know, living life the way that they should. They're just sort of waiting, collecting dust, waiting for the day that I want to wear them, which will probably be never. Anyway, I have a lot of fucking reasons. What? Whoa. Relax. I have a lot of fucking reasons why I don't want to give my clothes away. But yesterday, it was like I didn't have control of my own arms. You know, I had been taken over by the spring/summer cleaning spirits, and they were like, get this fucking trash bag and throw all the shit away. And when I say throw away, again, I mean donate. I do not just throw clothes in the garbage. That does not happen. Yeah, so anyway, I did that. For like 2 hours, I did that. And in the back of my mind, I was like, they're just going in the trash bag. They aren't leaving the house just yet. They're just going in the trash bag, you know? We're going to bring them downstairs and we can think about this again. And this theory has gotten me into a lot of trouble before, because I will tell you this is not the first time I have done this excursion in my closet and tried to get rid of everything. This is not the first time. I have boxes and boxes and boxes of clothes in my basement. I've done this before. I've had this sort of moment where I'm like, I want to get rid of everything. And then I just like put them downstairs. And so like, that didn't really do anything. They're still in my house taking up space in some way or another. And so I had that same thought this time. I was like, they're just going in the bag. They're just going in the bag, you know? And so with that thought in mind, I was a little bit more like, okay, I kind of like you, but don't need you, like, I have a top that looks very similar to that one. I love this one, but I have another one that looks like it. Like, I was just throwing shit away, you know? I was just, like, clearing my shit away. And it was because I was like, I'm just gonna bring it downstairs. And then, like, if we regret this decision, we didn't make any, like, permanent decisions anyway, so we could just like go back on our word, bring them back upstairs, like don't worry about it. And so I did this for a couple of hours and I had 2 bags full of clothes and I was feeling really good about myself. But again, in the back of my mind, I was like, just gonna bring these downstairs, you know, we're not gonna go to the donation store right away, just put them downstairs. And we didn't really let them go, we've just taken them out of the space. But like really we are like progressing, you know, like this is the first step. This is not the first step. This is not the first step. If I can give you any advice and you are the same as me and you hoard clothes and you can't get rid of them, this is not the first step. The first step is bringing them to the donation center, okay? Because for me, I think, oh, I've done the first step and I feel like I like congratulate myself. I like pat myself on the back for doing the first step. And then I don't really feel like I need to do the rest of the steps. And so that means hoarding happens still, but like in a different part of my house. And that wasn't the plan. That wasn't the venture that I was trying to do. I was trying to actually get rid of all my shit. Anyway, also side note, my favorite soda flavor at the moment is like anything that's like an orangesicle. Like this one is orange cream from Poppy. So good. And then my other favorite drink, I know I have two, is the Celsius Orangesicle flavor. So fucking good. I have been drinking way too many of these. I don't know if you can tell, but I am hyped. So I've had to change to poppies, and honestly, not as delicious as the Celsius, but like we gotta lay off. Like it's becoming a problem. I think I drink like 2 or 3 Celsius a day. That's really bad. And I have debilitating anxiety. Like, what a surprise. Kel Surprise, Rita. Anywho, that evening, I had some friends coming over because my lovely friend wrote a script and we were doing a script reading. And I was like, everyone come over, it's gonna be cozy, put on a fire, read the script, da 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 da. So anyway, at like, I can't remember what time it was, but in the evening, my 4 friends came to my house. And we did the script reading, and it was all great. And then we went outside for a little cigarette, which, by the way, I really, really have been trying not to vape, but I will have a cheeky cigarette every now and again. Like, I never buy packs for myself. It's only when I go out or I'm with specific types of friends who I know will have a packet of Marlboro Golds, which are my fucking favorites. Anyway, last night was one of those nights where I was like, you know, it's an artistic night. Let's just have a little cigarette. Anyway, we were sitting outside and, you know, just sort of gossiping and talking about life. And I mentioned that today I decided to put a bunch of clothes in a bag to be donated. Just popped up in conversation, you know. And someone said, oh, can we go through them? Like, can we go through the bags? After a moment, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Yep. Yeah, let's go through the bags. Yeah, if you guys find stuff you like, you should take it home. You should take it home. Panic was happening because I had put myself in a situation where I couldn't really back out of it. We were at my house and I said I had bags of shit upstairs. Like, what am I going to say? Oh, sorry, my mom says you can't come upstairs. I don't live with my mom. Like, you know what I mean? I also didn't want to be a fucking weirdo and be like, oh, sorry, I don't want to like give people my clothes. Because like, I actually have no problem with that. It's just like mentally I have an issue with like getting rid of clothes just in general. And I'd also put myself in a situation where not only now was I just going to have to like drop bags off at the donation center and like that was it and drive away. I've now put myself in a situation where I have to sit and look and watch people go through my stuff, try things on, and then if they like them, take them home. But I agreed. I put my big old panties on. I agreed. And once we finished our lovely cigarette, we went upstairs and we went into my bedroom and I had the bags out and I was like, you guys go for it. And they dumped all the clothes on the floor and they started going through all the clothes and my heart was beating. I will say that there are some things I put in that bag that I didn't actually really mean to put in that bag, but they were in there and, you know, it was because my mindset, I was like, I don't actually have to give these away right now. It's totally fine. So I was sort of a bit willy-nilly about the whole thing. I definitely wasn't like thinking about it as much as I would have if I had known that this scenario was going to happen. If I had known that I was going to be forced to watch people go through the stuff and like literally just like take it home with them, you know, and like never to be seen again by me. Except for on their bodies, like when we go out together, you know? So I sat on the bed and it was a moment of letting go. It was a moment of pure, I don't have control of the situation anymore. Once I gathered myself mentally a little bit more, it became the most exciting, most fun, girly evening I've had in a really long time. And I was so fucking thrilled when people would find stuff that they wanted and they wanted to take it home. It was so satisfying, heartwarming, loving to see these clothes be actually loved and look way better, you know, on other people's bodies. Because, you know, some things just don't look good on certain body types. That is just a fact. And the same clothes will look fucking amazing on another body type. And that is exactly what I was experiencing yesterday. I was like, holy shit, that dress looks absolutely fucking insane, you know? And like in those moments, I'm like, oh, regret. But I was like, no, no. We know we've tried this dress on and it just didn't look good and we've never worn it. We know that and it looks fucking sick on her. So we're gonna let her take this. And this dress is gonna have a new lease of life. It felt fucking brilliant. Brilliant. I honestly can't tell you how healing it was to see these clothes get a new life. And you know, the interesting thing is that when they were like, oh, can we go through the stuff, like see if there's anything we want? My initial thought was like, after initially being like, oh fuck, like now I have to like actually give this shit away. I can't do my usual trick, which is just putting it in the basement and like leaving it there. After that initial thought, my second thought was like, there's not going to be anything in there that anyone wants, you know? And like, I'm even thinking that like after being afraid of giving it away, I'm even thinking like, there's nothing in there that's like, I think I was like, there's nothing in there that's like good enough for my friends kind of thing. But like, I was like, you are happy to look. You're happy to look. And they tried on a bunch of stuff and they looked fucking incredible. And I was like, oh, okay. Those clothes were just not for me. Those clothes were literally just not for me. They're beautiful clothes. They are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous clothes. They were just not made for me. They were just not made for me. You know, like the style, the shape, the look, like there are so many different aspects to these clothes that just did not work with me as a person. And they literally look like they were made. Some of these pieces look like they were made for them. Like, it was amazing. And by the end of that day, all my friends left the house with like handfuls of stuff. And it was like so nice. It was such a nice feeling. I know that one of my biggest pleasures in life is gift giving. I will always prefer giving gifts to getting them. Like on Christmas Day, when I watch someone open the present I got them, I'm a lot more excited than like when I open my own presents. So I like should have known that this was going to be like such a pleasant experience, but I just was sort of holding on to these old ideas of who I was and like who I could be and like maybe I need this stuff and like maybe I'm going to be this like really edgy girl and I'm going to need this dress one day, like da 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 like. And it's just like, at the end of the day, if you need anything specific, like, you'll be able to find it. The world is full of shit, you know? Like, you don't need to hold on to all of these things just in case. Because genuinely, like, I feel like the space you live in does affect, like, your mental space. And I genuinely feel like part of this weird, overwhelmed feeling I was having earlier in the day was because I had gone into my closet and I like couldn't close any of my drawers. And I didn't initially think about it. I wasn't like, oh, this is probably why I'm feeling agitated. But I'm sure it added to it, you know? I also knew that I had ordered a bunch of t-shirts and I was like, I don't even know where I'm fucking gonna put these things. Like, it was all sort of building up in my head and I wasn't like fully aware of it. But I will say that like watching my friends try on the dresses, and it was like, that experience was way worth way more than any of those clothes, you know? Sitting in my room, like 4 girls, like giggling, trying things on, doing like a fashion show, like one tries one thing on, then they're like, oh, like after you try that on, can I try it on? And like, I don't know, there was just such like a healing girly moment about that I wouldn't trade for anything. It was so lovely, so nice. Like such a bonding experience. It sounds crazy what I'm saying, but like honestly last night I just like felt fulfilled. I felt so fulfilled. I was so happy. I put it in my gratitude list, you know. I let go of these things. I made other people happy. And now these things that are actually weighing me down, but I feel like I need them, are gone. And they're actually giving someone else happiness. Where they were giving me sadness, now they're like existing in the world still, but they're giving me happiness. And you know, that thought of seeing them out wearing my clothes and having that feeling of like, oh fuck, like, do I regret giving that away? I don't care about that. I don't care about that. That literal night was so healing, so lovely and healing. I was smiling so much last night. I went to bed like a little baby and I was so fulfilled. It was so lovely. It was really, really, really so lovely. I highly, highly, highly suggest that if you are able to pluck up the courage, you should just like get all your shit together, invite your friends over and be like, do you guys need anything? You know, I don't know what's in there. Might be nothing, but like, if you need something, just like let me know. It's so nice. So nice. And do you know what? I've done the same at my friends' houses. Like, I've gone to their houses after they've cleaned out their closets and they've been like, oh, if there's anything in these bags you want, like, you can take it. And it's so fun, you know, it's such a fun girly experience. I just didn't know it was so fun being the giver of the clothes. I thought it was only fun, like, being the taker. But actually, it was even more fun being the giver of the clothes. Like, I don't know. It was just really nice. It was just really nice. Now I can actually like close my drawers, you know, and I feel lighter. I genuinely feel like that was something that had been weighing on my mind for so long. And when I say I hadn't done it in years, I haven't done it in years. And I actually genuinely forgot about all the bags of the old clothes that I had, you know, cleared out before. And I should have brought those upstairs for them to look in. Fuck. Okay, next time. But like now this is like a thing I'm gonna do. It's so enjoyable. It's so fun. And I thought that it would be easier just to like give them to the donation center, but I'm like ecstatic that I can make the people I love happy, you know, without even realizing how much happiness it could bring. And I wouldn't have had that experience if I didn't, you know, just like release control of the situation. Because I very easily could have been like, yeah, like, you know, I kind of got to go through it again, but like maybe next time you come over, we can do it. Like I could have done that so easily. I could have literally been like, no, I could have stopped that situation from happening so fast. You know, I could have been like, oh, I'm just like so fucking tired. Like maybe next time you come over, we'll go through it. And like, oh, I don't really have that much stuff cleared out. Like maybe it's better if we like go through it when I have more things for you to pick from. Like I could have said 1,000 different excuses, but I decided not to. And I'm so fucking thankful that I didn't. Anyway, that was just my little story of the week. If you have stuff that you don't want, seriously, like give it away. Give it away. Give it away now. Give it away. You know, I think just one other side note is when you wake up in the morning and you start getting ready for the day, having like so many options actually feels very chaotic, for me at least. I am someone who thrives a little bit more on like a uniform type thing. And I don't mean uniform as in exactly the same thing every single day, but just like, I don't know, I feel like after years and years of trying to like fully express everything I was feeling through my clothes, and I've realized now that there are other ways to express yourself, like I'm feeling very, very comfortable, or much more comfortable in sort of just like a little bit more of like a basic style. I feel less overwhelmed, you know. I'm not a fashion guru, like I'm not a model walking on the catwalk, like even though models don't typically have a lot of nice clothes because they're given the clothes for the shoots and stuff. But you know what I mean? Like my life doesn't involve, like my life doesn't require, you know, having this like set style. And I don't think a lot of people's lives do. Like I really genuinely feel like you can be whoever you want, you know, as long as you're like staying true to yourself, like wear whatever the fuck you want, you know, go crazy one day and then be super basic the next. Like it doesn't matter, you know, you don't have to have a curated closet. And I think that was my problem. I was like, I need everything to match. I need everything to look perfect together. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You really, really, really don't. And at the moment, I'm very much like comfortable and happy in this sort of slightly more basic style. You know, I wear shorts in the summer. Like I just got a bunch of these tailored shorts from Abercrombie, which are so comfortable and look good with everything. And then I just wear like a different t-shirt, and that's kind of like what I wear every day, you know, but it's not a specific style. I could wear like a rock and roll t-shirt or like a stripy t-shirt. Like I could wear a bunch of different stuff. Like I just feel like I don't want to be so connected to my clothes because again, as well, like not again, I haven't said this yet, but like at the end of the day, they are materialistic objects and I need to let go of the connection I have with material objects as much as possible because it takes me down. You know, like I do have a shopping addiction, you know, I love going shopping and I put so much, you know, attention into all of the things that I own. And when you have way too much shit to own, like it takes up your brain space. Like there's no room to think about literally anything else. And so it was just so freeing, you know, it was so freeing. And like, I was just thinking, even if I had sent them to the donation center, like there's nothing stopping me from driving down there today and like picking everything back up, you know, just like rebuying it back. But like, I would never text my friends and say like, hey, can I have all that shit back? Like I would never do that. I would never do that. I couldn't live with myself. And so like, it's honestly, it was such a perfect coincidence that they came over, and they're the type of friends that like want to go through your closets and like take clothes. Like, it was such a lovely coincidence that that all happened at the same time. And I had literally just cleared out the closet that day, and so the bags were like still in my bedroom, and I hadn't like put them in the basement yet and hidden them away. Like, it just all worked out so perfectly. And now I have figured out a new thing that brings me joy, and that is giving clothes new homes, giving clothes new leases on life. Like, I don't have to hold them captive, okay? And you know what? If a very special event comes along and I need that purple mesh fairy dress for some goddamn reason, like, I can just call my friend and say, hey, can I borrow my dress again? Like, I feel like I get so stuck on like the idea of like owning things and things having to be mine. And even if I wear it one time, like, I don't want to rent things, I want to own them. Like, I don't know, I just have all these ideas about objects, and I just like want to try and release myself from them, because I really do feel like these obsessions with things do take me out, you know. And like, you know, if I have a sweater and then I get shrunk, like, I'll spend days being sad about it, and it's just like, who gives a fuck? Literally, who gives a fuck? You know, who gives a fuck? We gotta let it go. Release it. Release it! Anyway, that was my little speech of the day. If you have shit that you don't want anymore, then get rid of it. It feels amazing. It feels absolutely incredible. And I can also tell you, like, I have OCD, and so a lot of my anxiety comes from anticipating like how I'm going to feel about a situation later in life, which I guess general anxiety does that too. But, you know, I was like, how am I, like, even if I don't feel anxious right now, like, am I going to feel anxious when my friends leave the house with like handfuls of stuff that I used to own? Like, is that going to make me anxious? It didn't. And I have debilitating OCD and anxiety, and it didn't. And my OCD and anxiety could have held me back from having that like really special moment with my friends, you know? Because I could have been like, what if I feel really shit after this? Like, what am I going to do then? But I didn't, you know? I just ignored that fear. I was like, well, if I do, I do. Anywho, I don't really know if I said anything that interesting today, but don't hold on to things. If you feel like you're becoming obsessed with something, with things, like, the best thing to do is just not have it anymore. I think that goes with literally any addiction. And as an addict to many things, I can tell you that, like, if you're all spending every day obsessing over things, the hardest thing to do is get rid of it, but also the best thing to do is get rid of it. So that's kind of what I learned. And I learned that I'm not going to be as anxious as I think I'm going to be if I give away some shit, you know? Really feel great. So anyway, that's my story of the day. That's my little thing of the day that I wanted to talk about. But yeah, highly suggest. Highly suggest. Girls' night. Oh my god, I just thought of something. Girls' night. A girls' night idea. A girls' night idea. Everyone clears out their closets of things that they don't want anymore. Everyone goes to someone's house, and it's like a swap meet. Like, everyone just like swaps clothes and like goes through each other's stuff. And like, people will find things that they love and take it home, and like, you don't have to worry about it anymore because it's being loved by someone else now. That's a really, really cute girls' night idea. Like a potluck, but like for clothes. Yes, that's cute. I like that. Anywho, I'm gonna go now. I think I've said my piece. Yeah, that's it. I love you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do. It's super helpful to me, and you can see anytime I post anything. So make sure you subscribe. And I love you, and I will see you next time. And also, I have asked before, but I'll ask again. I really want to do like a big sister series on this podcast where I answer questions that a little sister would ask a big sister. Because I have 4 younger brothers, I don't have any younger sisters. So, if you guys have any question suggestions, please let me know, because I would love to answer questions like from you guys if you have any. So let me know, comment them down below, and I will put them on a list and I will answer them in a upcoming episode. So anyway, it can literally be about anything you can think of. But yeah, okay, I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Okay, love you, bye.